Born a man, lived as a man for 30 years. I only presented the facts because Emmanuel Macron sent me a legal threat.
Okay.
We went back at him and we said, Mr. Macron, we won't publish a single episode if you just answer this question. Was Brigitte Macron born a biological male?
French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte are suing right-wing podcaster and conspiracy theorist Candace Owens. The defamation lawsuit filed today in Delaware claims that Owens has engaged in a, quote, relentless and unjustified smear campaign against the couple. The complaint goes on to allege that Owens spread outrageous conspiracy theories. That France's first lady could be a man.
Welcome back to your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Candace Owens just set the internet on fire, and this time she's not holding back. She's boldly hinting that she's sitting on actual medical records tied to Brigitte Macron, claiming they prove France's first lady went through a gender change before marrying President Emmanuel Macron. No whispers, no caution. Candace is out here tossing hints like confetti, making sure the whole world connects the dots. And the timing, absolutely toxic. The Macrons already have her dragged into a U.S. courtroom for defamation, but instead of backing down, she's practically walking in with a megaphone, daring them to try her. If she really has those receipts, this could flip the entire legal battle upside down. But if she's bluffing, then she just handed the Macrons their easiest win and the fattest payday of their careers. Either way.
French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte are suing right-wing podcaster and conspiracy theorist Candace Owens. The defamation lawsuit filed today in Delaware claims that Owens has engaged in a, quote, relentless and unjustified smear campaign against the couple. The complaint goes on to allege that Owens spread outrageous conspiracy theories. That France's first lady could be a man, that the Macrons are related in committing incest, and that the Macrons, the couple, is being controlled by the CIA. Obviously, those are deranged claims. In response to the filing, Owens posted a screenshot of a news story about the lawsuit on her Instagram page and wrote, "I will be coming for this wig today."
She's spinning chaos and the internet is eating it up like it's the scandal of the decade. But here's what most people don't realize. This firestorm didn't just pop up overnight. Candace has been planting these seeds for years. This wasn't some accidental slip on a podcast. She's been weaving it in carefully, dropping it in interviews, firing off those cryptic do your research tweets, and keeping the rumor alive every chance she got. And now, it feels like she's ready to push the whole thing over the edge, and people cannot look away. The whole saga really took off when Candace dug into old French gossip, reviving claims that Brigitte was actually born as someone named Jean-Michel T.
Born a man, lived as a man for 30 years. I only presented the facts because Emmanuel Macron sent me a legal threat.
Okay.
We went back at him and we said, Mr. Macron, we won't publish a single episode if you just answer this question. Was Brigitte Macron born a biological male? They came back and refused to answer. They said they don't owe you an answer. Now that's stupid.
All you have to do, let's stop all this Candace, all this everybody. Take a prick of blood, take a little piece of blood. That's male blood or that's female blood. Prove it. Shut everybody up. But then the other side's like, they don't have to do anything. Like when Obama, when they're like, show us your birth certificate. Would it take 3 years? Just show it.
A claim so explosive, it has Paris cafes buzzing and TikTok timelines on overload. Candace acted like this was some open secret everybody already knew, even though Brigitte Macron has denied it from day one. French media slammed the claims as pure fake news. Critics rolled their eyes, but Candace, she doubled down. In one of her live streams, you can literally hear her say, these claims aren't outlandish at all, adding that people had been whispering about it for years. That's when things started getting wild. She refused to let the rumor die, and it became one of her signature hills to die on. She repeated it on stage, dropped it in interviews, and slipped it into live streams that racked up millions of views.
Went away when I did the Becoming Brigitte series because people realized you only have to get one episode into that thing, okay? You realize these are not outlandish allegations. These are not allegations coming from the quote-unquote far right or the quote-unquote far left. These are not allegations that are coming from deep on a Reddit feed, okay? This is the reality. It is a couple in reality that has been involved in way too many pedophilic scandals, okay? Scandals.
This wasn't harmless chatter anymore. Candace turned it into part of her brand, and every single time she mentioned it, her supporters went crazy while her haters came out swinging even louder. By mid-2025, she had dragged the story from petty gossip to a full-blown international campaign. That's when the Macrons finally snapped and hit her with a lawsuit in Delaware. And trust me, it wasn't some tiny complaint. We're talking 22 counts of defamation, accusations of identity theft, and even claims that she was fueling dangerous conspiracy theories. Most people in her shoes would have tapped out, maybe issued a weak apology and kept it moving.
Be obsessed right now with your marriage and your relationship with your wife. Tell us about it.
I've been with my wife for decades now, and she's part of me. So,
Is it important for a world leader to have that?
But not Candace. The very same day the lawsuit dropped, she fired up her podcast like nothing had happened. Business as usual, like she was untouchable. Candace didn't flinch. She basically laughed it off, saying, "Thanks for the free publicity." In one clip, you can actually hear her doubling down, bragging that nobody believed her when she first claimed Brigitte was a man, and now she's demanding the world owes her an apology. But here's where things take a sharp, jaw-dropping turn. Candace isn't just teasing anymore. She's hinting that she's finally ready to show everyone exactly what she's been holding back this whole time. But before we get to that,
out everything. They tried to present them as some modern couple, telling us that she was so hot, she was Claudia Schiffer, and even though he was 14, she was just irresistible. And then you see this picture, and you're going, what? That's a picture? The hot teacher that the press was trying to sell so people wouldn't question this odd relationship. A person that's 40 being attracted, or alleged to be 40, I actually think Brigitte's older than that, is attracted to a 14-year-old boy. That's disgusting. It's perverted. No matter what, this is an incredibly perverted story, which centers around individuals who happen to surround themselves with other perverts. That's the reality. You can't.
Let's break down this lawsuit. Because trust me, this isn't some little slap on the wrist situation. Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron went all in, filing one of the most detailed defamation cases Delaware has seen in years. The accusations explosive. They're saying Candace is spreading lies so reckless they could destroy Brigitte's reputation across the globe. The filing accuses her of pushing bogus identity theft claims, circulating fake gender records, and even throwing dirt at their marriage. And the kicker, the Macrons aren't just chasing a payout. They want the court to shut Candace down completely, banning her from ever speaking on it again. And this isn't just gossip blogs stirring the pot anymore. Major outlets jumped in.
You would accept like a lot less, so I just want to be very clear, in case it hasn't been clear from the beginning. Maybe just some photos growing up with your brother, some photos of your first marriage, which lasted more than a decade of your life. You allegedly had 3 kids, some photos of you in the hospital, giving birth to those kids, raising those kids, growing up with those kids that you allege that you raised. We don't need to conduct a medical exam at this moment, just some photographic evidence that you existed for the first 30 years of your life. That would be great. Maybe wedding photos. I assume you took tons of wedding photos. Can we see who the maid of honor was? Just proof that it was you. I feel like we're not asking for a lot. How about school photos? Xavier Poussard won, by the way, in court because for whatever reason, the school that Brigitte went to does not want to release the photo of Brigitte at school. And so when Xavier went to the school and said, actually, I won in court, you have to release this, the school said, don't care, we're not releasing it. That would do. School photos, I think. So this is a really low bar we're setting to prove that you existed for 30 years. You could go for a walk with your brother now, answer some questions, refuses to do absolutely everything. So you're not going to gaslight us for asking for a bare minimum requirement here, okay? Prove you exist.
CNN even ran a full breakdown of the case, pointing out that Candace went so far as to claim the couple might actually be related. That's how outrageous it's gotten. But here's the wildest part. Instead of going quiet, Candace is treating this lawsuit like her own twisted PR machine. Every time her legal team files a response, she jumps online with cryptic teasers about truth bombs and secret receipts. In her mind, she's not defending herself. She's building up to the big reveal. Candace keeps hyping up one thing above all else, the so-called medical records she claims to be holding like her ace card. According to her, this is the document that will silence every critic once and for all. She insists it lists a totally different birth name, a different gender marker, and even details about surgery. But let's be clear, this is all Candace's claim. Brigitte Macron has denied it over and over, and French authorities have already stamped these rumors as flat out false. Still, Candace parades around like she's sitting on the world's biggest smoking gun, and she's not slowing down. In one podcast clip, she doubled down by pointing to something she swears proves her point. She said there isn't a single wedding photo or real throwback from 30 years ago that shows Brigitte even existed back then. That statement alone sent timelines spinning. If these papers are real, it would mean somebody dug them out from deep inside French bureaucracy, and that's no small feat. But if they're fake, then Candace is playing with fire at a level that could leave her absolutely scorched in court. Either way, she's milking the mystery, and it's keeping the buzz hotter than ever. Right now, the internet is split right down the middle. Half the crowd swears Candace just ended the debate for good, while the other half is sharpening their knives, ready to watch her get dragged in court. One viral comment summed up the whole frenzy perfectly. Candace didn't defame Brigitte. She just broke the unspoken rule, never question the powerful. And that exact vibe is what's keeping her fan base fired up right now. To her supporters, Candace isn't some troll stirring the pot. She's being painted as a political truth teller, finally pulling back the curtain on elites who never get called out. And then there's the other half of the crowd who don't even care about politics. They're just here for the mess and the drama. One fan even wrote, "I damn near died when she said, 'I'm being sued by the First Lady,' man." That single line exploded across timelines for hours, turning into a meme storm that wouldn't quit it. But not everyone's laughing. Some voices are way more practical, saying they just want this circus to be over. One blunt comment summed it up. "This is simple. Get a DNA test done." And honestly, that's the energy a lot of people are channeling right now. Love her or hate her, nobody can look away, because if Candace really drops those so-called records, this won't just be another internet trend. It'll detonate into a global headline. And let's not forget, Brigitte's image isn't just about her personally. It's tied to the French presidency, to the country's reputation on the world stage, and even to Emmanuel Macron's own credibility as a leader. Their marriage has been dissected for years. The age gap, the teacher-student history, the whispers that never died down. Now add this kind of scandal into the mix. Suddenly, it's not gossip anymore. It's a full-blown national crisis. And Candace knows exactly how to twist the knife. In one clip, she leans all the way in, mocking it as the hot teacher story, and even pushing it further, saying the age gap makes it a straight-up perverted tale. That kind of provocation is gasoline on a fire that was already out of control. Here's the cold reality. What Candace is doing isn't just bold, it's flat-out dangerous. If she really leaks private medical records, even ones she swears are real, she's stepping into some of the most serious legal territory out there. We're talking violations of privacy laws, possible criminal charges, and lawsuit damages so heavy they could bury her in court for years. But to her, that's just part of the fight. In one fiery clip, she made it crystal clear. She's ready to go to war. She even mentioned that the Macrons are demanding hard receipts, emails, conversations, documents, anything to back up the storm she's been blasting online. And instead of backing down, she's practically daring them to push harder. And if you followed Candace Owens for even a second, you already know this isn't her first time lighting a match in a hornet's nest. Her whole career has been built on saying the things others won't, or depending on who you ask, the things others are smart enough not to say. Remember when she stirred chaos by implying Michelle Obama was secretly trans? Or when she accused Brittany Griner of lying about her gender just to make it into the WNBA? She even took nasty swipes at Meghan Markle, calling her a professional victim and claiming she staged parts of that bombshell Oprah interview. The pattern with Candace never changes. She drops a massive claim, people demand proof, she doubles down, and then she keeps the fire alive by feeding it piece by piece. But this time, the stakes are nothing like before. She's not just poking at a celebrity, an athlete, or a royal. Candace is aiming straight at the First Lady of France. And once you step into political territory, especially when it's tied to the presidency, you're no longer just battling haters online. You're staring down real firepower. Right now, this entire saga hangs on one burning question. Will Candace actually release those so-called medical records? Or is this just another one of her strategic teases to keep herself front and center? She keeps dropping hints that the big reveal is coming sooner than anyone expects. And if she really pulls the trigger, it won't just be messy internet drama anymore. It'll blast onto the front pages of international news in minutes, shaking both Paris and Washington at the same time. So what's it gonna be? Is Candace Owens really about to cross the ultimate line and unleash the receipts she's been dangling for years? Or is she setting up the biggest bait and switch of her career, stringing everyone along while she soaks up the spotlight? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.